Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Zahab here from the Blockchain Expo Dubai 2020. We are back with another incredible interviewer in Harry Halpin, co-founder and CEO of Nym. Harry, really
good to meet you. Glad to be in Dubai.
Same with me. I want to start things off by asking about Nym and what you guys have achieved so far in 2021.
Yeah, so what Nym is we do network level privacy. So if I send a packet over the internet, any packet, doesn't matter if I'm using a web browser, it's a Bitcoin transaction, that packet reveals a lot of information about me and who I am. You get revealed the time the packet was sent, the size of the packet, often the content of the packet is not encrypted. So you can use these kinds of information to basically stop transactions, block transactions, de-anonymize transactions if you're interested in privacy. And what Nym provides is layer zero, network level privacy, sort of like a super VPN that is resistant even against like nation state level adversaries. This year, we got funding from Polychain. Our testnet got to 10,000 nodes. That's almost as big as even Bitcoin. It's bigger than Tor. And we expanded the team from 8 to about 30 people. So we're doing really speeding up and scaling really well.
The name Nym, where does that come from?
So Nym, if you think about it, comes from, you heard the word pseudonym, or if you heard the word anonymous, Nym comes from that. It's the Greek root for name. So anonymous means no name. Pseudonym means a false name. When the cypherpunks, or the people that created Bitcoin, were originally trying to communicate over email, people were trying to figure out what's their real identity, what's Satoshi's real identity. They used something called a Nym server to basically hide, using what's called a mixnet, the same technology that we have, the source of their emails. So Satoshi Nakamoto himself used an early version of our technology, a Nym server, based either I think on mixed minion or mixed master probably, to hide his identity. So it was very difficult to figure out who's sending that email.
And what are your growth plans for 2022?
Our growth plans, we plan to get a bit more funding. That should be announced, I think, later next week, to make sure we have, in case the market does take a turn to bear market, we have a 3 or 4 year run map. But to be honest, the software is highly developed. We think we can launch the mainnet by end of year or early next year. So that's our main goal.
And your business model, what is your business model?
So
look like?
essentially, when you do Bitcoin, you mine and you make Bitcoin. Nym is a mixnet. We mix packets up. It's like we take each packet is a deck of cards and we randomly shuffle those packets. That's mixing. So we reward people for mixing and you get a reputation for mixing. Those are given to you in a tokenized reputation form. That's the Nym token. It's all in our white paper, all the details. And then when you want to make some traffic more private, you want all your packets to look the same, you want them mixed up, you pay a very small transaction fee. And just as people pay transaction fees for Bitcoin to get their block in faster, we think people would pay transaction fees for Bitcoin transactions to make their Bitcoin transactions more private. Or for example, a VPN. You pay monthly for a VPN, you can also pay monthly for like a super decentralized VPN that is even harder to attack, and we think that's also another good business model.
What do you and the team have working up on the partnership side?
On the partnership side, we have a big announcement coming out later this week, but we generally are really well respected. We're already part of the Liquid Federation, so we're partnering with Blockstream. We have continual conversations and interest from Brave, good friends with Moxie from Signal, and we even have a member of Google has joined our advisory board, Ben Laurie. So I think we have a lot of, once we actually hit mainnet, we're going to see a lot of adoption pretty rapidly.
And after this summer's fundraise round, what are the capital raise plans moving forward?
Well, I'm old-fashioned. I don't think you should. I think if you raise too much money, it becomes an attack surface. You saw what happened, for example, with Tezos. You have fake founders. You have, Craig Wright. Your people wanting all this cash. I think it's actually better to raise funds more like a normal startup. So what we always want to do is we always want to double our funding. So our last round was about $6 million. We're going to do a $12 million round, scale to that, and then we'll probably want $25 million, and we'll keep scaling. And it's because we're more interested in building the software than like raising a $50 or $200 million round. Most of those projects that raise those large round sizes, they're actually failed to ship. raising too much makes you lazy. It's better for a startup to remain lean and hungry, we think.
What are Nym's main problems right now, and what are the solutions you're throwing at them?
Well, our main issue is that we have a lot of people that really want to somehow get tokens or get involved, and they expect airdrops. So we're not doing an airdrop. We keep telling people that. And the testnet token is valueless, but we keep having a lot of what I would call Sybil attacks on the testnet, where people are trying to basically jump in our testnet without doing any work. So that's a big problem. Another big problem is that as we've got larger and larger, as the market heats up, the quality of the community kind of goes down. We have lots of kind of pump and dumpers and token flippers in there, and so that's a problem, just to even manage these kinds of people in your Telegram channel. In terms of business, we don't expect we're going to have any problems. We have very good lawyers. We have a very well-respected team. We occasionally have a few projects that try to copy us. Like this morning, a project literally copied our Twitter and our white paper and put a new name on it and announced they're going to do a token sale on it. This sort of things happens in the bull market. I think intelligent people will tell the difference between good projects and scams.
What are some of the privacy-related trends we're seeing in crypto, and do you see these moving forward?
Yeah, so zero-knowledge proofs is taking off. So zero-knowledge proofs is how I can prove to you that I know something without revealing what it is I know. I think there'll be continual work in there. We have our own kind of very easy-to-use anonymous credential system, which is sort of a simplified zero-knowledge proof system. I think this technology will continue to progress and become faster and better. But again, the problem is without protection the level of networks, the packets themselves, I can encrypt a packet and send it to you. But if you still can look at the network stream, the peer-to-peer broadcast, I can still track you down. So I think what we hope is that zero-knowledge projects improve and get better, and that we become a kind of network-level privacy solution provider for these kinds of projects.
Besides privacy, what other trends are you looking forward to over the next 2 to 3 years?
I'm not so excited by NFTs, although I guess the art market has always existed, and rich people have always hidden money in art. Art currently beats inflation. I am very excited. I think there is something to say for DAOs and democratic self-organization. People are historically excluded from participating in shareholder governance, participating in representative democracy. I think anything which enables people to be autonomous and self-organized and directly democratically organized is very exciting. So I do think there's a big future for DAO-based technologies, even though we ourselves don't currently have one.
The Metaverse will probably win Oxford Dictionary's 2021 Word of the Year. What is your take on the Metaverse?
I mean, the stuff that Facebook was pushing is just a giant scam. It's just to increase their surveillance of you every so often, as the wealthy people of Silicon Valley and Washington, D.C. let the entire planet burn. I don't think it's a very good idea to put everyone in a kind of retarded version of the Matrix where you're being fed VR all the time. I do think with COVID, it's an understandable business model, and I do think people should, of course, own whatever they make in these games like World of Warcraft or whatever. I agree with that. But I'm not particularly excited by the Metaverse. I'm more excited by causing political and social and financial change in this universe, the real world, and I think that's where we should focus our energies.
Last question, let's take a step into the hot take factory. Where do you see Bitcoin going on January 1st, 2022 and 2023?
I mean, historically, it crashes after Thanksgiving. It's a very special year. We have lots of institutional money in. It could keep going up. I don't give financial advice. I do personally only hold Bitcoin, and I do hope it goes up, but I never count. So I would be super excited, though, if it broke 100K on New Year's. I would pop a bottle of champagne.
I would pop that with you, Harry. Really
Excellent.
Appreciate the time.
Good to meet you. Take care.
All the best.